Andrea, and this is my environmental design scavenger hunt seeding project. So the first chair type I'll be talking about is this large, round outside poolside chair. And for comfortability, I rated it a 9 because it is very comfortable with like the cushioning and the pillows that it has. It just lost 1 point because of its awkward shape. I do find it a little bit difficult sometimes to stay in a comfortable position for a long time. For cost, I put 2 because after doing some research, it is quite an expensive chair, and for a day-to-day normal person to have this in their backyard or even pool, it would just cost a lot. Environmental impact, I said it was a 7. A lot of outdoor furniture companies are using more sustainable materials and um, things like that to make it less harmful to the environment. Sustainability, though, I did give it a 5 just because although a lot of companies are switching over to more sustainable practices in terms of producing and using and disregarding these chairs once they're too old or broken or whatever. Um, a lot of companies are still not on that path, and there are still a lot of outdoor furniture companies that are using old practices and furniture that's already out there. Social impact, I said 10 because it is an apartment complex. It does give a lot of people the opportunity to socialize, and there was multiple of these all around the pool. This is just a photo of one, and also because of its large size, many people can, like maybe 2 or 3 people can fit on there. Function, I said 10 because to provide comfort and all this stuff plays into effect, and it does its function. It provides a safe space for people to go and hang out by the pool. And aesthetics, I gave it a 10 as well because, as you can tell in the picture, it just matches the vibe of the rooftop pool very well, and I thought it fit the aesthetic and the vibe very well. The second one I'll be talking about is this outdoor dining chair. I did blur out other patrons in the area, but for comfortability, I gave it a 10. For being a restaurant, I think it was a very comfortable chair to be seated in with the cushion, even though the chair didn't have any armrest. It still was a very comfortable chair to be dining in. Cost, I said 3 because same thing. It was just very expensive, and I don't know how restaurants order chairs, but if a normal person wanted to have this just in their backyard, again, would be pretty expensive. Environmental impact, I said 7 um, because these do go on. It kind of goes hand in hand with sustainability being at a 5. Same thing as the poolside chair. A lot of companies have switched over to being more sustainable. However, there are still a lot of chairs out there that people have already put out that are um, low quality and not as sustainable. Social impact, I said 9 because it is a restaurant space. Um, it gives people the opportunity to interact and dine with each other. Function, I said 10. It fits pretty well for an outdoor seating area. The chair itself seemed to be of a material, it wasn't wood. It seemed a little bit more flexible than that, and the cushioning also was waterproof. So it fit the function and needs of an outdoor dining space. And aesthetics, I said 10. Just overall, this restaurant was able to match everything to their vibe that they wanted to set out, from the furniture to even like decor and other things that were going on out there. The third one is the community bar stools at my apartment complex. Comfortability, I said 7 just because they are kind of at an awkward height. They don't have like armrests or anything, but they are very nicely padded and soft to sit on. So I gave it a 7. For the cost, I gave it a 4. Bar stools are more affordable, but this specific kind, the velvet fabric and the amount that there is, it was just a little bit more on the expensive side, but compared to the other ones, they were a little bit cheaper and more affordable. Sustainability, I gave it a 4 just because bar stools, especially in a community space like this, break down very easily and get replaced pretty frequently. And the way that they dispose of these chairs aren't always the most sustainable. Social impact, I gave it a 10, as well as function, because it is in a community space and lounge and like open area. It gives the opportunity for residents to meet each other, to socialize, to be around a lot of people. And for aesthetics, I gave it an 8. It just isn't my personal preference when it comes to furniture, but in terms of matching the rest of the lobby area and the community area, it did seem to fit it very well. The next one is this coffee shop's bench and chair. The bench being one long and having multiple smaller chairs. For comfortability, I gave it a 7, depending on which side you sit on. Either side doesn't really have armrests or anything, so it is less comfortable. But if you're trying to get work done or focus or things like that, I guess it could help with posture. For cost, I gave it a 1 because, again, in a restaurant setting, furniture like this is just really expensive. Um, and I didn't even realize how expensive this was until I started doing some more research. Environmental impact and sustainability, I gave it a 10 and a 9 just because I just know that this specific coffee shop uses very sustainable materials just in general all around the store, and that's one of their big mission statements, even though it's just a coffee shop, and they use sustainable wood materials, as well as like the quality of it seemed very nice, which means it'll last a very long time, and that will lessen the carbon footprint of the specific coffee shop. Social impact and function and aesthetics tends across, because as you can see in the picture, it is a very beautiful space to study and focus or just socialize with friends. The long bench gives opportunity for a lot of people to sit. It can be a bigger group or it can be a more intimate two-person thing, as you can see in the picture there. The last one is this apartment complex courtyard cement round seating type of thing. Comfortability, I gave it a 1 just because it is made of cement and it just wasn't very comfortable to sit on for longer periods of time. And just in general, it has no backrest or armrest or anything like that, so it doesn't seem to be the most comfortable. For cost, I gave it a 6 because it is still on the expensive side, but considering everything else that I looked and found, these were a little bit more affordable for the average person. Environmental impact and sustainability, I gave it an 8 and 9, because the material itself is going to be sustainable for a very long period of time, but I did find that environmental impact was not as great, and so yeah. And then social impact, I gave it a 9 because, again, it offers seating for a larger group of people, but I could definitely see it being a more intimate setting if you wanted less. And it is in a courtyard for an apartment complex for residents to get to know each other or people you are already close with, people having friends there, things like that. Function, I gave it a 7, and aesthetics. Function, because again, it goes with the comfortability thing. It does its job providing seating, however, it is just kind of an uncomfortable like seating area in general, and the space away from the table was a little awkward, and because it's cemented to the ground, you can't really move it. And for aesthetics, I gave it a 7 because, again, personal preference, but I just don't really like how that cement looks, and I think there could have been better options out there. But that was my project, and thank you for watching and listening.